We have a Patreon, Pat.
We do. Oh, we don't have a Tales from the Game Store this week.
Not really. Well, there was that guy who called who came in when I was on the phone with you yesterday.
It's not worth the story then. Okay.
He was just.
It's not intro worthy.
No,
it's not intro worthy.
Yeah.
Do you want to say it real quick or no? Is it like a 20-second thing?
It was just it was just this fucking guy who comes in with his. I'm on the phone with you, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get off the phone, and he walks in and he looks at me and he's like, and he puts a 360 down on the counter, and he's like, I'm back, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. I didn't know who this person was. I mean, like, I've seen him in the store before.
Well,
and
maybe he thinks you know him.
He's always problematic, but he comes in and he's like, oh, I'm back. I'm like, from where? Anyways, I get off the phone with you, and he's like, so where's the lady? And I'm like,
oh, he's a fan of the show. He must know who you are.
No, he says, where's the lady? Lane works at Luna Video.
Oh,
Games.
okay.
Yeah, where's the lady? And I'm like, not here. It's like, well, where is she? And I'm like, whoa. She's not here. Oh, well, the only reason I ask is because I brought this to her like 2 days ago, and she tested everything out and said I can have $20. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, but I didn't take that offer. I thought it was a bad offer. I'm like, and I said, okay. And he's like, but I thought it over and I've brought it back. I'm bringing it back. I'm like, great. So I go to test it out, and he's like, oh, you can just call her. Just give her a call. She's not here today? And I'm like, no, she's not. He's like, just give her a call. She'll tell you everything. And I'm like, she doesn't know. I'm like, if I call her, she's not going to know what I'm looking at. She's not going to know if it's the same. I said, so I've got to retest it. Mm-hmm. So he's like, $20. Yeah, that's what she said. It was $20, and I'm happy with that. And I'm like, so I hook it up, and I go to reach for one of the controllers, and
this is like a full story.
I guess maybe. I never think they are. But the pad on the joystick is falling off.
How's the pad falling off?
The pad falls off on joysticks pretty easily. You play with the controller.
Oh, the thumb thing?
Yeah, the thumb
stick.
Yeah, the thumb pad is coming off. And the thing is like caked in dirt, and it's just like, because he said that Lane even looked at it, I'm going in stupidly with some sense that maybe what he's saying is at all true or has actually happened. So I'm like, okay. But like, as I'm setting it up, I'm like, oh no, there's no way she would have offered anything for this because it's fucking disgusting. It's like covered in brown stuff that you can chip away. Ugh. And so I go to grab one of the controllers and it's gross and the thumb pad is like off. I'm like, yeah, I can't take this. I said, there's no way she offered you anything for this. And the thing is like 20. 20 is a number he pulled out of his ass because there's no way that if she was taking what he was offering,
what would it typically be?
It would have been like $10 or like $40. Like 20 is just there's
weird in the middle.
Yeah, it's a weird in the middle that you could tell. I think he just like whipped out of his ass in a hopes that I'd be like, sure. Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, from a distance initially, I'm like, $20 for that. Yeah, that seems fine. And I'm looking, I'm like, no, 20 is a made up number.
You gotta put a game in and try it anyway, right?
Right. So I'm like, no, I can't take it. And he's like, well, that's strange. And I'm like, what? He's like, that's very strange. And I'm like,
it's like, that's very strange.
I'm like, what is social? I'm like, what? So I just say, what's weird? Sir, this is not in any condition.
It's got Cheetos on it.
I'm like, this is not in any condition anyone would even look at. He's like, well, she said she would give me 20 for it. And I said, well, then, and at this point, I start to lose my patience. He's like, I need that 20. I'm moving to New York. And I'm like, then you, I said, you should have taken the 20 when she offered it to you.
With the gift horse in the mouth.
And
I'm moving to New York. I got to get rid of my cheesy console.
And then he says again, well, I thought it was a low ball. I said, it's a lot. Not. I said, if that's what she offered you, that's a lot more than you're going to get for any of this from anyone else.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, well, so what should I do? I said, I don't know. I can't give you any money for this. And he's like, well,
not any credit? No.
No. It was trash. This was trash.
Something I find at the swap meet?
Like trash. Honestly, if someone was trying to sell this at the swap meet, I'd be like, really?
It was that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad.
You don't know if it even boots up.
No, I didn't even bother trying that.
Yeah.
I never even got to that point. So I give it back to him. He's like, so when is she in next? I'm like, I'm not. And then I started to lose. I said, dude, stop asking about her. I said, I'm not going to tell you when she works.
So you're going to say, I'm going to leave a note for her specifically to kick you out of the store if you bring this shit
Well, I texted her. I was like, hey, this dude is fucking all up on you owing him like $20.
He owes.
Yeah. And I was like, stop asking. I said, it's weird.
Okay,
it sounds weird.
So he knew enough to mention another worker there.
Chances are he's been there before. Chances are he maybe did bring it in, and she
said,
probably
"Fuck
said no."
And now
he's
lying.
He's lying and trying again, which is
I would have put her on
something that people
speakerphone and be like, "No, sir, I wouldn't."
So yeah, I just texted her. But he was like, "Call her." I'm like, "I'm not fucking calling her. No, stop being weird." But anyways, he gets real upset, but he has nothing to say back to me, no recourse. So he like picks it up at the end, and he goes to walk away, and he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna have to come back and see her." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Or you don't have to." I said, "We're not taking it." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna talk to her, and I'm gonna tell." He's like trying to get mad, but realizing he has nothing he can say.
Leverage. Tell him to go to GameStop and trade it in.
And he's like. It was just
Would GameStop take it?
No, GameStop would not take it.
They would not.
No, this was trash. This was actual trash. The only reason I even stood up and entertained the idea of hooking it up is because he was like, "Oh, Lane tested it the other day and said she'd give me 20." I'm like, "All right, fine, let's just test this out and throw together the 20." And it's like, "Oh no, that's not how this went down."
So what did Lane end up saying? Did she remember it and reject him?
She just said, "No, I never offered him $20."
So she rejected it.
Yeah. So there's that.
I think that was a tale from the game store.
I mean, it's a tale. It's from a game store.
It's intro worthy. We'll find a good place to cut it in there.
All right.
We'll do that.